Chosen one. When the season of your life shifts, people around you will begin to move differently. Sometimes it's obvious, someone speaks up, leans in, or smiles in a way that leaves the air charged. Other times it's subtle, a pattern of small, repeated gestures that add up until you can no longer deny the intention behind them. This script explores 9 clear, respectful, and non-graphic signs that someone may be sexually attracted to a chosen one, a person set apart, called, or positioned for blessing and influence. The aim is to help you notice patterns without jumping to conclusions, to read body language and behavior with wisdom and boundaries, and to protect your heart and season while honoring the dignity of everyone involved. If this message lands at the exact moment you needed it, please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps spread messages that empower and protect. And if these words touched you or clarified something you've been feeling, type 1111 in the comments for divine blessings and to let others know they're not alone. Now let's walk through the 9 signs with clarity, practical examples, and spiritual insight. Remember, awareness is power and boundaries are holiness. 1. Lingering or intentional eye contact. Eye contact is often called the silent conversation of the soul, and for good reason. It bypasses words and speaks directly to our instincts, our emotions, and even our sense of spiritual awareness. When someone is sexually attracted, their eyes betray a depth of focus that goes far beyond polite or casual interest. This isn't the fleeting glance we give in passing or the momentary look exchanged during ordinary conversation. Instead, it is deliberate, lingering, and steady. You may find them catching your gaze across a room and holding it just a second longer than expected, or perhaps during a conversation, their eyes keep returning to yours, as if magnetized, as if drawn by an invisible pull. This behavior is often curious, deliberate, and even slightly vulnerable, because sustained attention reveals intent, whether consciously or not. For a chosen one, this matters because attention has power. Eye contact multiplies influence, amplifying the connection between two people. Someone who locks eyes with you repeatedly may not just be showing politeness, they may be expressing desire, curiosity, or fascination. But here's the critical truth: their gaze doesn't obligate you to respond. It is simply a signal, an indication of something stirring beneath the surface. Your role is to notice, acknowledge it within yourself, and then discern whether it is worth engagement or dismissal. If the gaze feels respectful, you may allow the interaction to unfold with mutual consent. But if it crosses into a predatory stare, one that feels invasive, persistent, or unsettling, then it becomes a warning, a sign that boundaries must be firmly set. Practically, you can respond in many ways. Sometimes matching with brief, polite eye contact is enough. Other times, redirecting the energy of the moment by shifting to neutral topics in conversation works well, and when necessary, removing yourself entirely from the interaction is the most powerful option. Remember this: eye contact is not a confession of love or attraction, but it is always an invitation to observe more. The chosen one must remain wise, discerning, and unafraid to trust their instincts. 2. Increasing proximity and leaning in. Human beings naturally regulate personal space. In most cultures, we maintain invisible boundaries, adjusting the physical distance between ourselves and others based on comfort, familiarity, and intent. But when attraction enters the equation, those boundaries subtly shift. A person who feels sexual attraction often closes the gap. They lean in when you speak, angle their body toward you even in crowded settings, and somehow find reasons to be close, choosing the same side of the room, sitting next to you when other options exist, or casually appearing in places you frequent. While on the surface these behaviors can seem innocent, they often carry layers of meaning. They are rarely accidental. Instead, they serve as a quiet test. Are you comfortable with me being closer? For a chosen one, this signal is complex. Physical proximity can feel flattering. It can even be warm and reassuring, as closeness often builds trust and intimacy. But it also carries risk. Presence invites influence, and influence invites expectation. If someone consistently places themselves in your space, you must ask, is this person showing respect for my comfort, or are they pressing against my boundaries in hopes of slowly lowering them? Do they pause when I step back? Do they respect the invisible line between closeness and intrusion? If the answer is no, what you are witnessing may not be gentle pursuit, but rather subtle boundary testing, which over time can erode peace and create discomfort. Practical responses are essential here. You can choose to name your comfort level directly and plainly. I'd like more space. You can create physical separation through intentional seating choices or by inviting a friend to sit between you. Even posture can communicate strength. Standing tall, angling your shoulders away, or crossing your arms can reclaim your personal space without confrontation. In moments where proximity escalates into discomfort, trust your instincts and remember, protecting your boundaries is not rudeness. It is stewardship over your peace, your body, and your influence. 3. Compliments focused on physicality and energy. Compliments are a normal part of human interaction. They are the verbal currency of kindness, encouragement, and connection. But when someone is sexually attracted, their compliments often shift from neutral affirmations to more charged observations. Instead of commending your character, your skills, or your achievements, they may zero in on your physicality or your energy. Words like "you look irresistible tonight," or "there's just something about your presence," carry weight. Compliments on your body, your scent, or the way you make them feel often point toward desire more than simple respect. For a chosen one, this distinction matters deeply. People of spiritual influence or leadership often attract attention from many angles. Some admire your wisdom, your discipline, or your compassion, but others, whether knowingly or not, may be captivated by the physical or sensual aspects of your presence. That isn't always malicious, but it is something to recognize. Repeated compliments that consistently focus on sensuality or allure reveal that attraction is present, and often that it's being expressed more openly than the person may realize. Practical responses require grace and wisdom. Sometimes, redirecting the compliment to neutral ground is enough. "Thank you. I worked hard on preparing this message." Or, "I'm glad that my energy can bring peace to the room." Other times, shifting the focus back to the other person by complimenting their efforts or strengths balances the conversation. But when commentary becomes persistent, repetitive, or inappropriate, it calls for a firmer response. You may need to call it out directly. "I'd prefer compliments about my work or my character." By doing so, you set a tone of respect without hostility. Remember, chosen ones are called to be light, but even light has boundaries. 4. Touch that tests boundaries, light, repeated, or accidental. Touch is one of the most powerful non-verbal languages. A single touch can communicate affection, reassurance, protection, or attraction. When sexual interest is present, touch often shows up in ways that may appear casual at first, but reveal deeper intent when repeated. A hand brushing your arm, a palm on the small of your back, an accidental graze on your shoulder that lingers just a little longer than normal. These are not coincidences. While platonic touch certainly exists, a consistent pattern of light and repeated touch is often a quiet probe, testing the boundary between friendship and intimacy. For a chosen one, this becomes especially complicated. Touch can confuse relationships, turning mentorship into tension, friendship into confusion, or professional spaces into inappropriate dynamics. The person who touches you may not say outright what they feel, but their body communicates it clearly. Pay close attention to the frequency, the timing, and the context. Is it only when others are absent? Does the touch follow flirtatious comments or compliments about your physicality? If yes, then it is not innocent, it is intentional. Your response should be both calm and clear. The first line of defense is verbal boundaries. I don't do that, or please respect my personal space. Body language is equally powerful. Step back, stand up, or replace the physical moment with a handshake. If the individual persists, escalation is necessary. In professional or ministry settings, involving a trusted third party or reporting the behavior may be essential to protect yourself and others. Never minimize the impact of touch. When someone uses touch to communicate attraction without your consent, they are crossing a boundary. And for chosen ones, boundaries are not optional, they are spiritual armor. 5. Protective or possessive behavior. Attraction does not only show itself in romantic or flirtatious ways, it often reveals itself in protective gestures. A person drawn to you may step forward if someone criticizes you, volunteer to handle conflicts on your behalf, or position themselves as your shield in group settings. While this can feel supportive and even comforting, it can also slide into something far less healthy: possessiveness. Possessive behavior looks like monitoring who sits near you, questioning your interactions, or subtly expressing displeasure when you spend time with others. For a chosen one, this difference matters greatly. Every season of favor attracts both genuine defenders and those who confuse desire with ownership. Protection that respects your autonomy is a gift. Possessiveness that seeks to control your access to others is a trap. The signs can be subtle: a furrowed brow when someone else gets your attention, sarcastic remarks about people you engage with, or even outright attempts to control your calendar and your time. While they may disguise these actions as care, the underlying motivation is often desire mixed with insecurity. Practical responses require discernment. You can thank someone for their kindness while firmly keeping decision-making authority. I appreciate you handling that, but I decide how I manage my schedule. Establishing this clarity early prevents escalation. If possessiveness grows unchecked, it can evolve into manipulation or unhealthy dependency. For chosen ones, it is vital to recognize that you do not need protectors who cage you under the guise of care. True support builds you up without chaining you down. Guard your space, but more importantly, guard your autonomy. 6. Playful flirting and teasing that crosses into sexual tension. Flirting is often described as a playful dance, a back and forth of words, tones, and expressions designed to create a spark. At first, it may feel harmless, filled with laughter, light teasing, and harmless banter. But when sexual attraction is in play, the nature of the flirting changes. It begins to cross lines, shifting from innocent jokes to suggestive comments, double meanings, or deliberate innuendo. Teasing about romance, intimacy, or scenarios that touch on the private sphere of your life reveal that the intent is no longer simply friendly. For a chosen one, this requires sharp discernment. A little light-hearted humor is not dangerous in itself. Laughter can even diffuse tension and build connection. But when the teasing consistently gravitates toward your sexuality, your attractiveness, or your private life, the line has already been crossed. The danger lies in how subtle it can be. Many people dismiss it as just joking, but repeated suggestive humor builds a layer of familiarity that can lead to bolder advances. Your responses should be intentional. Keeping your replies light but non-committal sends a signal that you will not feed the tension. Steering the conversation towards safe, neutral topics reclaims control. And when needed, a plain statement of discomfort is the strongest boundary. That joke makes me uncomfortable. Humor is indeed powerful, but for chosen ones, It is never a tool for compromise. Use it to deflect, not to encourage. Above all, remember, if words consistently point to desire rather than respect, it is no longer a joke. It is a signal. 7. Noticeable change in voice, demeanor, or nervous energy. The body often reveals truths that the mind tries to hide. When sexual attraction is present, it manifests not only in words or actions, but in subtle physiological shifts. You may notice someone's voice soften when speaking with you, or laughter that comes quicker and more frequently than usual. They may fidget, smooth their clothing, fix their hair, or adjust their posture when you enter the room. Some display nervous energy, a kind of restless excitement. Others try to appear more confident, suddenly speaking louder, cracking jokes, or exaggerating gestures to capture attention. For a chosen one, these shifts are significant. Your presence often carries weight. It can magnetize the atmosphere and draw unconscious reactions from people around you. Some changes reflect healthy admiration, a natural desire to put one's best self forward. But others may signal unhealthy fixation, where attraction disturbs composure and overrides normal behavior. The key distinction lies in whether the behavior respects your space and your agency. Practical responses involve balance. Acknowledge politely, but do not amplify the behavior. By maintaining your own calm, steady demeanor, you communicate that you are not swept into their nervous energy. This often normalizes the situation, helping the other person find balance. At the same time, trust your discernment. If their energy grows disruptive or makes you uneasy, you are free to create distance. Remember, the chosen one does not carry responsibility for managing the emotions of others. You carry responsibility for protecting your peace. 8. Prioritizing you, availability and time investments. One of the clearest signs of attraction is time investment. When someone rearranges their schedule, answers your messages instantly, or consistently seeks opportunities to be alone with you, it reveals priority. They want to be present with you above other obligations, and that choice communicates volumes. This is often subtle at first, offering help, showing up at events, making themselves coincidentally available. But over time, the pattern becomes undeniable. Their life bends to orbit yours. For a chosen one, this can be both flattering and dangerous. It is easy to mistake persistent availability for devotion, but beneath it may be desire that is more self-serving than genuine. Some offer their time to serve, to bless, and to support. Others pursue proximity as a way of satisfying their own longing, elevating their need above your comfort. The distinction lies in whether their service respects your boundaries or erodes them. Practical responses are essential. Protect your calendar and clarify expectations early. Establish structure, office hours, scheduled meetings, or trusted intermediaries who help filter access to your time. If someone presses for constant availability, remind them that boundaries are not rejection, they are wisdom. Chosen ones are often called to serve many, not to be consumed by the few. Guarding your time is not selfishness, it is stewardship. Remember, anyone who values you will respect your structure. Anyone who does not was never seeking to honor you in the first place. 9. Jealousy or guarding when others show interest. Jealousy is one of the clearest emotional thermometers of attraction. When someone reacts strongly to your interactions with others, especially those who might be potential romantic rivals, it often reveals that desire is at play. The signs may include subtle criticisms of the other person, dismissive remarks about their character, or visible discomfort when you engage with them. In some cases, jealousy shows itself through withdrawal. The person grows distant or cold after you give attention elsewhere. For a chosen one, this reaction is critical to notice. A small degree of jealousy may feel flattering, but it often points to deeper insecurity. More dangerously, Jealousy can fuel possessive behavior. Instead of encouraging your healthy relationships and supporting your connections, a jealous person may attempt to isolate you, discourage certain friendships, or guilt-trip you into prioritizing them above others. Your response must be both wise and firm. One approach is to name what you observe. "I noticed you seemed upset when I spoke with 10th. Is everything okay?" Giving space for honesty allows the other person to acknowledge their feelings. However, when jealousy becomes manipulative, expressed through silent treatment, guilt, or punitive actions, you must step back. In such cases, distance is not cruelty, it is protection. In more serious environments, involving trusted leadership or mediators may be necessary. Remember this: chosen ones cannot afford to be entangled in webs of jealousy. You need allies who cheer your growth, not people who guard you for themselves. Being a chosen one attracts attention of all kinds: admiration, mentorship, and sometimes desire. This is the Zillion Mind channel. Like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more spiritual awakening videos. If this video got you at the time you most needed, type 1111 in the comment section. Thank you for watching. There is a power that lives within every chosen one, a sacred, magnetic, divine energy that, when fully mastered, becomes a force of creation, healing, and manifestation. But when this energy is uncontrolled, it can destroy the very person it was meant to elevate. Sexual energy is not just about desire, it's the raw life force, the same energy that creates galaxies, ideas, and destinies. Many chosen ones walk through this world carrying enormous spiritual potential but remain unaware of how their unmastered sexual energy exposes them to spiritual attacks, emotional chaos, and internal battles that delay their divine purpose. If you've been feeling drained, confused, or stuck despite your spiritual growth, it might be because your most powerful energy is leaking through lust, addiction, or unhealed attachments. Before we begin, take a deep breath. This message is going to awaken something deep inside you. If you found this video at this exact moment, it's not by accident. The divine is calling your spirit to rise higher, to reclaim your power and purify your energy. These words will reach only those who are ready to understand the truth behind their own inner struggles. So, before we continue, I ask you to subscribe to this channel, because every week we go deeper into the mysteries of divine awakening, self-mastery, and spiritual protection. And if this message has reached you at the right time, type 1111 in the comment section below as a sign that divine alignment and blessings are now flowing into your life. 1. They attract energy vampires like magnets. When a chosen one hasn't yet mastered their sexual energy, their aura becomes like an open flame, beautiful but unprotected. People who carry heavy, draining, or lustful spirits are drawn to that light the same way moths are drawn to a candle in the dark. They can sense your radiance, your unrefined power, and your divine potential that has not yet been anchored in discipline. This energy feels intoxicating to them. They may not even consciously understand why they feel so compelled to be near you, but on a spiritual level, they sense nourishment. You become a source of energy that fills the emptiness within them. These energy vampires often come disguised as lovers who promise passion, friends who seem fascinated by your essence, or admirers who shower you with attention. But what they are truly seeking is your essence, the sacred life force that makes you magnetic. You'll notice that after certain encounters, you feel tired, emotionally heavy, or strangely detached from your spiritual core. That's not imagination, that's spiritual depletion. It's energy theft masked as connection. Until you learn to channel your sexual energy upward into creativity, purpose, and spiritual alignment, Your light will continue to attract those who wish to feed on it rather than protect it. The true mastery lies in discernment, knowing when to share your energy and when to guard it. When you finally reclaim control of your sexual power, you become untouchable. The same energy that once drew parasites will now repel them. Your light remains bright, but it becomes sacred fire, powerful, contained, and protected by divine intention. 2. Their dreams become distorted and dark. When sexual energy remains unrefined and unguarded, it doesn't just affect your waking life. It seeps into your subconscious realm, the dream world. The chosen one who hasn't yet mastered this force may find themselves having strange or erotic dreams, battling unseen entities, or waking up feeling spiritually violated, disoriented, or ashamed. These experiences are not random. They are the spiritual consequences of leaked, untransmuted energy. The astral plane is sensitive to vibration. When your energy radiates unrestrained desire or guilt, it becomes a magnet for lower frequency entities. They feed off that untamed energy because it's raw and unprotected. In the dream world, boundaries blur, and your spiritual body becomes exposed to forces you may not yet understand. These dark dreams are not meant to terrify you, but to alert you. They signal that your inner temple needs cleansing and discipline. Before sleep, what you consume, whether it's media, emotions, or thoughts, sets the tone for your dream realm. If your mind is filled with lust, anger, or fear, you invite those vibrations into your spiritual house. But when you purify your energy through meditation, prayer, fasting, or stillness, your dreams become portals of divine revelation rather than chaos. The key is to remember that your dreams mirror your spiritual hygiene. Guard them as you would your sacred space. As you rise in mastery, your dream world will no longer be a battlefield, but a sanctuary where divine messages flow freely and your spirit rests in peace. 3. Their manifestations take longer to appear. Uncontrolled sexual energy is one of the greatest disruptors of manifestation for chosen ones. The same life force that can build empires, heal, and attract miracles is also the energy that can scatter into nothingness when misused. When this energy is spent on lust, fantasy, or meaningless indulgence, it weakens the spiritual magnetism required for manifestation. You might find yourself praying, affirming, and visualizing with all your heart, yet nothing seems to move. That's because your spiritual battery keeps draining before it can power your desires into reality. The creative spark that God placed within you is being wasted through temporary pleasures that yield only spiritual exhaustion. This creates a frustrating loop. Your faith feels strong, but your results remain stagnant. Your thoughts become unstable, your focus fractured, and your vibration inconsistent. You can't build a kingdom with scattered energy. Manifestation demands concentration, intention, and sacred retention. When you finally learn to channel that same sexual force into purpose through movement, creativity, service, or prayer, your manifestations begin to accelerate rapidly. The energy that once left your body now circulates through your spirit, fueling clarity and alignment. Suddenly, doors open, timing aligns, and miracles flow naturally. The universe doesn't withhold blessings from you, it simply waits for your energy to stabilize enough to hold them. Mastery over your sexual energy transforms your manifestation power from a flickering flame into a roaring fire, steady, unstoppable, and divinely focused. 4. They experience sudden mood swings and emotional confusion. Sexual energy is not limited to physical pleasure. It is the essence that ties your body, emotions, and spirit together. When this sacred energy is misused, wasted, or scattered, it leaves the chosen one emotionally unbalanced and spiritually fragmented. One day you feel unstoppable, creative, connected, and inspired, and the next day you feel empty, lost, or anxious for no apparent reason. This emotional turbulence is not random, it's the echo of misdirected energy. Every unguarded encounter, every unhealed attachment, and every emotional entanglement leaves energetic residue within you. You begin carrying pieces of other people's emotions, desires, and memories, energies that don't belong to you but now live within your field. This is why chosen ones often feel drained after intimacy or certain connections. It's not just physical, it's spiritual exchange. Until you learn to reclaim those scattered fragments through fasting, solitude, prayer, and energy cleansing, you'll continue to feel emotions that aren't even yours. The emotional confusion you feel is your spirit's cry for purification. The more you align your sexual energy with self-control and spiritual purpose, the more emotionally stable and grounded you become. You stop being a sponge for other people's energy and start standing in your own divine vibration. Once balance is restored, peace returns. The same energy that once caused emotional chaos becomes your source of serenity, confidence, and inner power. 5. They lose clarity and spiritual discernment. One of the most dangerous effects of unmastered sexual energy is the gradual erosion of spiritual clarity. The chosen one, who cannot yet control their urges, begins to lose the ability to discern between divine truth and deception. Their intuition, once sharp and deeply connected, becomes muffled by desire. The whispers of God get drowned out by the noise of temptation. Lust becomes confusion, and confusion leads to poor decisions. Trusting the wrong people, chasing the wrong opportunities, or mistaking emotional highs for divine signs. This is one of the enemy's oldest tricks, to distort your perception through desire. When your energy is clouded by unrefined passion, your spiritual senses become dull. You begin to justify what's harmful, entertain distractions, and walk paths that pull you further from your calling. But when you reclaim your sexual energy and anchor it in purity and discipline, your discernment returns with divine precision. You can feel deception before it speaks. You sense manipulation before it moves. Your spiritual eyes reopen, and the fog lifts. True mastery doesn't mean suppressing your desires, it means owning them, transforming them into wisdom, and refusing to be ruled by them. When you can say no to temptation, not from fear but from awareness of your own sacred power, you become unstoppable. You no longer chase clarity, you embody it. 6. They develop addictive patterns. Chosen ones who have not yet learned to master their sexual energy often find themselves trapped in cycles of addiction, sometimes obvious, other times subtle. The addictive behavior doesn't always take the form of lust or physical pleasure, it often morphs into other distractions that deliver the same temporary dopamine hit. You may find yourself endlessly scrolling through social media, seeking validation, chasing attention, or overindulging in entertainment and stimulation. Deep down, what you're craving is not the activity itself, but the feeling of fullness that comes when your energy is aligned with divine purpose. Yet, because that energy is scattered and undirected, your spirit seeks substitutes, things that make you feel alive, even if only for a moment. The danger lies in how deceptively harmless these patterns seem. They numb you, pacify your restlessness, and delay your growth without you realizing it. These addictions are spiritual distractions, clever traps designed to keep you disconnected from your divine essence. At their core, all addictions share one root: the inability to sit with one's own divine power without escaping it. When you finally stop running, when you allow yourself to feel the intensity of your own sacred energy without needing to release it through stimulation, something miraculous happens. That same energy begins to transform into focus, discipline, and spiritual strength. You start to experience joy without needing constant external triggers. The chosen one who learns to master this transformation moves from dependency to dominion, from being controlled by impulses to commanding them, and in that moment every addiction loses its grip, replaced by divine freedom. 7. They attract karmic relationships. Until a chosen one learns mastery over their sexual and emotional energy, life will continue to send them karmic relationships. Unions designed not to comfort but to teach. These connections often appear magnetic, intoxicating, and spiritual at first glance. The chemistry feels divine, the timing feels fated, and the emotions run deep. But beneath that intensity lies the mirror of your unhealed self. Every karmic partner you attract reveals the parts of your soul still bound by desire, attachment, or insecurity. These are not coincidences. They are divine appointments arranged to refine your soul. You attract what you have not yet mastered. In these relationships, you will experience highs that feel heavenly and lows that feel devastating. The pain, confusion, or betrayal you face is the universe's way of awakening your awareness. These partners come to expose what still needs purification. Whether it's your need for control, your craving for validation, or your tendency to mistake passion for purpose. And though it may hurt, every heartbreak becomes holy ground for transformation. Once you finally learn the lesson, once you reclaim your power and stop outsourcing your worth, those karmic patterns dissolve. You stop attracting people who drain you and start magnetizing souls who expand you. When sexual energy is mastered, love evolves from obsession to expansion, from lust to light. The chosen one who has integrated their lessons becomes a mirror of divine love itself, whole, healed, and magnetically aligned with relationships that reflect their higher self rather than their wounds. 8. Their creativity becomes blocked. Sexual energy and creative energy are one and the same. Both are forces of creation, expression, and manifestation. When this energy is wasted through overindulgence or misdirection, the chosen one feels an inexplicable creative drought. You might sit down to write, paint, build, or pray, but nothing flows. Your ideas feel dull, your inspiration fades, and your connection to divine creativity weakens. This is not because you've lost your talent, it's because your creative current is being drained through instant gratification. Every time sexual energy is spent without purpose, the sacred fuel that powers creation diminishes. For chosen ones, this is especially painful, because your purpose depends on your ability to channel divine inspiration into tangible form. You are meant to create, not just art, but healing, impact, and transformation. When that channel becomes blocked, you feel disconnected from your calling itself. The good news is that this blockage is never permanent. The moment you begin to discipline your sexual energy through self-control, meditation, fasting, and creative transmutation, that same energy begins to rise. It no longer leaves your body, it begins to circulate within you, igniting your mind, opening your heart, and awakening divine insight. Suddenly, creativity flows effortlessly again. Ideas come in waves. You feel inspired, alive, and deeply connected to God, The very energy that once fueled lust now fuels genius. Your art becomes more profound, your presence more magnetic, and your work more impactful. Mastery over sexual energy is not suppression, it is redirection. When that happens, your life becomes a living masterpiece of divine expression. 9. They delay their divine elevation. Perhaps the most sobering and frightening truth of all is this. When a chosen one fails to master their sexual energy, their divine elevation, their promotion into purpose, is delayed. God, in His infinite wisdom, does not elevate a soul who cannot yet protect the power they carry. Every temptation you face is not meant to destroy you, but to prepare you. Each time you resist temptation, you strengthen spiritual muscles needed for the next level of destiny. But when you keep giving in, you delay the process. You can't carry divine authority while still being ruled by earthly impulses. This delay doesn't mean rejection, it means refinement. God is patient with His chosen ones because He knows what's inside them. Every setback, every repeated cycle is an opportunity to learn control, awareness, and reverence for the sacred force within you. The same energy that can create life, art, and miracles must first be purified through discipline before it can be trusted with power. Once that mastery is achieved, your entire frequency changes. The energy that once caused downfall becomes your divine engine of creation. You become unshakable, radiant, and fully aligned with your higher calling. No longer are you tempted by what once enslaved you. Instead, you walk in authority, transforming the same energy that once drained you into the very power that propels you into destiny. That's when elevation happens, swiftly, divinely, and unmistakably, because God promotes those who have proven they can protect the light they carry. This is the Zillion Mind Channel. If this message spoke to your soul, understand this: there's nothing wrong with your energy. It just needs direction. You are meant to rise above impulse and embody divine discipline. The more you honor your sacred energy, the more the universe will honor you. So take your time, heal, meditate, and remember, the most powerful chosen ones are not those who suppress their energy, but those who master it. And if this message came to you at the perfect time, type 1111 in the comments for divine alignment and blessings. Your awakening has already begun. Thank you for watching. There are seasons in life when God seems to press pause, not to punish you but to prepare you. For the chosen ones, those who walk a divine path, every delay carries meaning. You may look around and see your friends getting married, starting families, and building what looks like a perfect life. And yet, you're still waiting. You've prayed, cried, fasted, and questioned why love seems to bypass you. But hear this clearly. When you're chosen, delay is never denial. It's divine design. Before we dive in, take a moment to breathe deeply and trust that this message has found you right on time. If you're one of the chosen ones who feels this message reaching the deepest parts of your soul, if it feels like confirmation, like something you needed to hear today, type 1111 in the comments for divine blessings and alignment. That number is not just coincidence, it's a sign that God's timing is at work in your life. And before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. We speak life, truth, and divine revelation to the chosen ones who refuse to settle for less than what God has destined for them. If you're ready to understand why your delayed marriage is not a curse but a crown, stay with me till the end. Let's uncover the 9 secret gifts only chosen ones receive from delayed marriages. 1. the gift of spiritual maturity. Delayed marriage is not punishment, it's spiritual training. It's the kind of training that happens in silence, away from the applause and validation of the world. God allows chosen ones to walk through seasons of solitude so they can cultivate the kind of depth that only silence can produce. In that solitude, you begin to hear the whispers of heaven, the subtle instructions that teach you how to love without chains, how to serve without needing acknowledgement, and how to trust God's plan even when it makes no sense. You learn emotional discipline, understanding that love is not about possession but partnership, not about filling a void, but about fulfilling a divine purpose. While others rush into relationships built on emotional impulse, you're being refined by divine fire. Every disappointment, every unanswered prayer, every delay becomes part of the curriculum of your soul. You start realizing that God is not withholding something from you. He's preparing something for you. This waiting season isn't meant to break you. It's meant to build you into someone whose love will not wound, but heal. You're not simply waiting for a spouse. You're becoming the kind of person heaven can trust with a sacred covenant. God is teaching you to embody love before you encounter it, to reflect His character before you represent His union. That's the kind of maturity that makes you ready not just for marriage, but for ministry through marriage, too. The gift of purpose revelation. When marriage is delayed, it's often because God is more interested in showing you who you are before showing you who's meant for you. In that quiet waiting season, the noise of the world fades, and suddenly your divine assignment begins to unfold. You start noticing how your pain has purpose, how your gifts, your experiences, and even your disappointments all weave together into a larger spiritual calling. You realize that you weren't just born to marry, you were born to manifest something sacred, to heal, to teach, to lead, to awaken. Many chosen ones carry an anointing that can't be nurtured within distraction, and that's why God protects them through delay. The delay is divine, a shield against anything or anyone that could dim your spiritual fire before it fully ignites. During this period, God whispers revelations about your destiny. He strips away false ambitions, reveals talents you didn't know you had, and gives you clarity about what you're meant to build before marriage. You may have thought your life was paused, but in reality, it's being positioned. God is saying, you can't marry yet. You haven't even met your true self. Once you discover that identity, your partner won't complete you, they'll complement the greatness already active within you. 3. The gift of emotional healing. You cannot pour from a broken vessel, and God in His mercy refuses to let you. Many chosen ones have inherited unspoken pain, trauma, abandonment, betrayal, rejection, wounds that echo through generations. Before God entrusts you with the weight of covenant love, He isolates you for inner restoration. Those nights when the silence feels heavy are not wasted. They are holy appointments between your soul and your Savior. You begin confronting the shadows you once buried, the fears of being unloved, the habits of overgiving, the urge to prove your worth. Slowly, God peels back the layers of your heart and replaces your pain with peace. This season becomes less about waiting for love and more about becoming love. You learn to find joy in solitude, to forgive those who broke you, and to embrace the wholeness that only divine healing brings. When God delays your marriage, He's not being cruel. He's being careful. He's ensuring that you don't repeat the pain patterns of your lineage. The delay is divine surgery. Every tear is washing away emotional residue that could sabotage your future relationship. By the time God says, "Now," Your heart will no longer crave attachment, it will crave alignment. And when you love again, it will be from a healed place, not a hurting one. 4. The gift of financial and mental stability. While many rush into marriage driven by pressure, society, or loneliness, the chosen ones are held back by divine design, not as punishment, but as protection. God ensures that before you unite your life with another, you first build the stability that sustains long-term peace. During your waiting season, you learn discipline, how to manage your emotions, your time, your money, and your mind. You begin to understand that wealth is not just material, it's spiritual and mental too. God teaches you how to be a good steward, how to handle responsibility, how to make wise financial choices, and how to sustain joy without depending on another person for it. This stability becomes your foundation. When you finally meet your ordained partner, you will come not as someone seeking to be rescued, but as someone ready to build. Your mind will be grounded, your emotions steady, and your spirit in alignment with purpose. God delays your marriage so you can step into it as a whole being, not half of one. You won't be clinging to your partner out of fear, you'll stand beside them in strength. Your union will be based on mutual growth, not survival. That's why this waiting is sacred. It's the season where God is fortifying your inner world for the life He's about to bless you with. 5. The gift of discernment in love. Delay has a way of sharpening your spiritual senses. Over time, you begin to see through things that once deceived you. You stop confusing attraction for assignment, charm for character, and attention for affection. The longer you walk with God, the more He opens your eyes to the difference between a distraction and a destiny connection. You begin to see how emotional manipulation works, how counterfeit love mimics divine love, and how impatience can lead to painful choices. God allows false partners to cross your path not to hurt you, but to teach you discernment. Every heartbreak becomes a revelation. You start to understand energy, intentions, and spiritual compatibility. You learn that love without peace is not love, and chemistry without purpose is chaos. This discernment becomes your armor, so when your true partner appears, you won't question it. Your spirit will recognize theirs. The chosen ones don't just fall in love, they see love before they step into it. God delays marriage so that your spiritual vision matures enough to recognize divine alignment when it finally stands before you. When that moment comes, you'll know that this love isn't emotional confusion. It's confirmation. 6. The gift of divine alignment. When God delays your marriage, it's not because He's forgotten you. It's because He's orchestrating alignment that reaches far beyond what the eye can see. Divine alignment is not random, it's deliberate. Every step, every pause, every connection, and even every disappointment is part of God's careful timing. You are not just waiting for a spouse, you are being synchronized with purpose. While you are growing in faith, your future spouse is also being prepared. Maybe they're still healing from something, or discovering their calling, or learning lessons that will one day make them the perfect partner for you. God knows that premature connection could destroy what divine alignment is meant to perfect. So, He waits until both hearts beat to the same divine rhythm. In this season, you may feel like nothing is moving, but behind the scenes, heaven is arranging everything with precision. The right timing ensures that when you finally meet, you won't have to chase, beg, or question. You will both be ready, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. It won't just be love at first sight, it will be peace at first presence. God's alignment ensures that your marriage is not just about happiness, but about destiny. When He finally says, "Now," Everything will fall into place effortlessly, not because of luck, but because divine alignment always delivers what human effort cannot. 7. The gift of unshakable faith. Faith is easy when prayers are answered quickly, but when heaven is silent and the promise feels far, that's when real faith is forged. The chosen ones walk through seasons of waiting where they must believe without evidence and trust without clarity. Every unanswered prayer becomes a test of endurance. You learn that faith is not an emotion, it's a spiritual muscle, and delay is the weight that strengthens it. As you wait, you begin to develop a calm that confuses others. You no longer question God's love because of temporary loneliness. Instead, you see the silence as sacred preparation. You start thanking God before the manifestation, walking as though the promise is already fulfilled. That mindset transforms you. It draws blessings faster because you're no longer begging, you're believing. Your confidence in God becomes magnetic. People feel it without you saying a word. You radiate peace in chaos, patience in pressure, and hope in uncertainty. This kind of faith cannot be taught. It must be lived. When your marriage finally arrives, it will not shake your faith. It will simply confirm what you already knew, that God never forgot you. He was building you into someone who doesn't need visible proof to trust invisible promises. That's unshakable faith. And it's one of the greatest gifts born from divine delay. 8. The gift of elevated standards. When you've waited long enough, you learn the difference between what you want and what you deserve. The delay raises your spiritual standards. You begin to see love through God's eyes, not as mere romance, but as partnership rooted in purpose and peace. You stop entertaining situationships that drain you, because you finally understand your value. The longer you wait, the more you refine your expectations, not in arrogance, but in awareness. You no longer pray for just any relationship. You pray for divine compatibility. God uses the delay to detox your heart from desperation. You stop craving validation and start craving alignment. You realize that not everyone has the spiritual maturity to walk beside you. So you become selective, not because you're picky, but because you're purposeful. Every time you refuse to settle, you honor your destiny. The delay teaches you that it's better to be single in peace than married in confusion. You begin to recognize that the love you seek must reflect your faith, not fight it. Elevated standards don't mean you're hard to love. They mean you've healed enough to know that love should feel safe, peaceful, and God-led. When your partner arrives, you'll know it's divine because they won't disturb your spirit, they'll enhance it. The delay was never rejection. It was redirection towards something higher, purer, and worthy of your calling. 9. The gift of a kingdom marriage. And finally, when the appointed hour arrives, the kind of marriage God gives His chosen ones is nothing ordinary. It's a divine covenant written in heaven long before you were born. Every tear you cried, every heartbreak you endured, every year you waited will suddenly make sense. You'll see that God wasn't denying you. He was designing something extraordinary. A kingdom marriage is not built on fleeting emotions. It's built on purpose, prayer, and partnership. It becomes a living testimony of what patience, faith, and obedience can birth. This union doesn't just make you happy. It advances heaven's agenda on earth. Together, you and your spouse will carry light, influence, and healing into places darkness once ruled. Your love will inspire others to trust God's timing, not their own. And when people ask how you knew it was right, you'll simply say it was peace, it was purpose, it was God. That's the power of a kingdom marriage. It's not about perfection, but divine intention. You will finally look back and realize that the waiting was not wasted. Every lonely night, every test, every prayer was building the foundation for something eternal. When God finally says, "Now, it won't just be a marriage, it will be heaven's prophecy fulfilled in human form." Chosen one, your delay is not a curse. It's divine protection. You're not being left behind, you're being prepared. When God is the author of your love story, it will never be late. It will be right on time. This is the Zillion Mind Channel. If this message spoke to your spirit, don't rush away. Pause for a moment. Type 1111 in the comments to claim divine alignment, because this message found you exactly when you needed it. And remember to subscribe. This space is for chosen ones like you, those walking through divine delays and supernatural preparation. Your time is coming. Heaven has not forgotten you. Thank you for watching.